You are welcome to the KNUST E-Learning Centre, a facility set up under the Vice Chancellor of KNUST. The centre, running with the latest in technology, is built to support online teaching and learning. With the best of technical support team in the country, the facility boasts of the state-of-the-art instructional design, podcast rooms, video recording studios, Wacom studios, and a ready-to-serve call centre. Our studios come with the clearest sound, giving you the opportunity to enjoy good quality sound as you listen to your facilitator's lecture. The center can also boast of a control center that sees to the successful transitioning from one lecture to the other. Talk of the Wacom studio and you will be left stunned. A pen and a screen, that is all there is to it. You can trust us when we say we are the best when it comes to quality online education in the country. This is the KNUST E-Learning Center, just a click. You are welcome to the KNUST E-Learning Centre, a facility set up under the Vice Chancellor of KNUST. The centre, running with the latest in technology, is built to support online teaching and learning. With the best of technical support team in the country, the facility boasts of the state-of-the-art instructional design, podcast rooms, video recording studios, Wacom studios, and a ready-to-serve call centre. Our studios come with the clearest sound, giving you the opportunity to enjoy good quality sound as you listen to your facilitator's lecture. The center can also boast of a control center that sees to the successful transitioning from one lecture to the other. Talk of the Wacom studio and you will be left stunned. A pen and a screen, that is all there is to it. You can trust us when we say we are the best when it comes to quality online education in the country. This is the KNUST E-Learning Center, just a click. You are welcome to the KNUST E-Learning Centre, a facility set up under the Vice Chancellor of KNUST. The centre, running with the latest in technology, is built to support online teaching and learning. With the best of technical support team in the country, the facility boasts of the state-of-the-art instructional design, podcast rooms, video recording studios, Wacom studios, and a ready-to-serve call centre. Our studios come with the clearest sound, giving you the opportunity to enjoy good quality sound as you listen to your facilitator's lecture. The center can also boast of a control center that sees to the successful transitioning from one lecture to the other. Talk of the Wacom studio and you will be left stunned. A pen and a screen, that is all there is to it. You can trust us when we say we are the best when it comes to quality online education in the country. This is the KNUST E-Learning Center, just a click. You are welcome to the KNUST E-Learning Center, a facility set up under the Vice Chancellor of KNUST. The center, running with the latest in technology, is built to support online teaching and learning. With the best of technical support team in the country, the facility boasts of the state-of-the-art instructional design, podcast rooms, video recording studios, Wacom studios, and a ready-to-serve call center. Our studios come with the clearest sound, giving you the opportunity to enjoy good quality sound as you listen to your facilitator's lecture. The center can also boast of a control center that sees to the successful transitioning from one lecture to the other. Talk of the Wacom studio and you will be left stunned. A pen and a screen, that is all there is to it. You can trust us when we say we are the best when it comes to quality online education in the country. This is the KNUST E-Learning Center, just a click.
To the KNUST E-Learning Center, and today on our podcast we are doing and treating our very final episode for the semester. We are preparing ourselves for our exam that has been very let me say lengthened in a whole month for the whole school. My name is Osei, and today on our podcast I have very wonderful people. I have our mother, who is coming from the College of Science Counselling Unit of KNUST, Mrs. Peasah, and then we have Mr. Langu also here with us, who is representing the Counselling Unit of Kabe. I know our last episode, if you heard us very clearly, we were talking about anxiety. It's something that has been eating students subconsciously, of which most of them don't even know what it is. So we talked about the symptoms of it, how to get to know how to even handle it, and I'm sure that if you lost track of what we did, you can actually go on the YouTube channel of the KNUST E-Learning Center and watch and then learn. What is happening today? Today we have a very wonderful preparation for you. Remember, KNUST is all about students, and the key is to provide that needed quality education to help churn out the #1 student when it comes to deliverables in Ghana and all over the world. I know examination is something that most students leave themselves wondering that, can I pass? Is it possible to pass? How do I pass? Most people enter the university and their minds are all about just exam, not even about handling themselves. But KNUST has determined and make it a point that no matter what happens, every student should be able to go through the exam and come out with flying colors. It will never be any dream of any father or mother in the university to decide to make a student trail, because that is what we use in the university. We don't fail students, we trail them so that they can have a unique opportunity to reset the course, pass, and then go forward. Mami, I want to welcome you to today's episode, Mrs. Peasah.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Mr. Langu, please, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, okay. So we'll do a quick recap of the things that we have studied so far. I know it was a very interactive session, the last part that we had together. We talked about sweaty hands, mental constipation, and then all that. And then it was something that was really helping me. Sure. And I wish I had that during my time I was in school. Yes, because you hear anxiety. Some people even just pertaining to their marital parts only. They don't think that, oh, it's something that can happen to a student. How can a student be anxious? Like, what are you trying to say? A student, your life is all about your books and then how to come out with flying colors. But after an in-depth conversation, it actually taught me a lot as a person. I'll let us run through quickly 2 things. The mental constipation, how to handle it. Then we move into today's conversation that has to do with my preparation before, during, and after exam as a student, not just of KNUST, because this is actually being aired live, and almost every single person all over the world would be watching, and some will be listening, and how to go about it. Mental constipation. Mami, what is it?
Thank you very much, Eko. It's a pleasure to be around here again.
Yes, please.
Hello to all our listeners and viewers.
Yes.
We pray that all is well with you.
Yes.
And a special greetings to staff of KCC, Konwie Counselling Centre. I'm sure I heard it's online, and we are presenting the centre.
Yeah.
And my special greetings to my students all over the university. Mental constipation is a generic term, that we use to describe any form of somatic constipation. So it could be what we are familiar with is around your tummy. You can't download the downloadables, and so it's a freezing, immobilized state of the mind, where the mind does not respond or function as is expected due to anxious feelings. So when you have a extreme form of anxiety, your mind goes blank. That's what we mean by the constipation. When there's no movement, you expect your mind to be thinking and processing thoughts, but it's like a wall. Nothing is flowing in or flowing out, and that it's generally caused by extreme levels of anxiety. Yes, and as we mentioned the other time, there are symptoms or indicators of when you are going through this, because anxious feelings are not limited to only adults. It doesn't exclude any age. It can affect all people, and it manifests itself in feelings. They exhibit in several ways. So we can have physical, we can have psychological, we can have emotional, we can even have somatic. I mean bodily. So with that time we explain some of them: nervousness, sweaty palms, fear, extreme sense of fear and insecurity, uncertainties. You feel threatened. You could be accident prone. You could make a lot of mistakes at the time, and there's a feeling of panic, extreme panic, when you are in such a state. And I wish nobody goes through these experiences, the very essence of our discussion.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mommy, for that in-depth conversation. And then I think that her prayer, she's a mother. And that's one thing that I'm really, really glad for, because it's not all women can be described as mothers. A mother doesn't want his or her child to go through such an experience that is so unpleasant. So I thank God that we have you here with us. Let's delve deeper into today's conversation. Mr. Langu, some of us are just 72 hours away from kickoff. Some are 96 hours. Some of them 108 hours from away from kickoff of our exam for the semester. The feelings are just too much. It feels like a pendulum because it doesn't have such a steady movement. This person is feeling high, this person is feeling low because of the exam, this person is feeling even tense and all that. Let me begin by asking, preparation before my exam. As a student, what should I do?
Okay, thank you, Eko.
Yeah.
Let me also add my voice to my senior, my mother. So if you still want me to put it that way, then greet all those who are listening and those watching us, especially KCC staff and then our head, Mrs. Victoria de Graft Ajay. We are so much grateful to her. Yeah, and then coming back to your question, like you said, some judges have barely some few days to write the exams. What I have to start is that exams is a normal thing for everybody once you are a student. It doesn't matter your age, it doesn't matter the level in which you are. You can be a PhD student, MPhil student, first degree or whatever. But once they mention exam, yeah, the dimension of it, the anxiety that comes with it, it's the same thing. Yes, just like even a KG child or BS one student who, when you say we are going to write exam, the kind of things that come with that is the same thing across board. But the thing is that once we are adults, we have some kind of advantage over the younger ones. Yes. So before you go into an examination or you are preparing for exam, one thing you should know is that you need to encourage yourself first. You need to prepare yourself psychologically. Then you need to prepare materially. Then let's come to the academic work itself. What were you taught during the semester? These are things that you need to sit down to plan together. Then let all of them synchronize, because you can't live out if psychologically you are not well balanced. You can't even study. So first of all, you look at what is it that you are going to write. Every department, we have exams table. You first of all need to study the very day that you are going to write a particular paper. Where is the venue? And you prepare towards that. So normally I say subjects that you are supposed to write tomorrow, you can prepare your own timetable in such a way that you study that either in the night or some hours before the examination. So you don't wait until it's about 30 minutes or 1 hour to time and then you want to be reading everything. Your mind will be jammed up. So first of all, that is what you have to do. So you gather your own material too as well. What do you need to send to the exam hall? Is it a pen, a calculator? The exams that you are going to write, if it involves calculation, that calculators are permitted to the exam hall, you need to prepare them. This is not when you enter the exams room and you ask the invigilators, give me a calculator from somebody. Everybody is busy, so you need to prepare very well for that. Then before the exams, Ella mentioned that you need to prepare psychologically. There are people, because of technology now, WhatsApp, smartphones, even people watching televisions, and all these things are not necessary at the time you are preparing for your examination, but that will distract your attention. Then you also need to look at your body, their physics. It's very, very important. If your body is communicating to you that there's something, you need to rest. You need to rest. But some people want to study 24 all the time. Even in machine, if you are working with this from time to time, you need to rest. Yeah. So because of that, if people are not able to, students are not able to do that, there's something into taking coffee, alcohol, some other things that can keep them. Yes. And before the exam, if you don't take time, you break down. So all these things are preparations that you need to put in place before. So you avoid drugs, alcohol, avoid using your phone often. Those kind of things. Then you need to, like Elon said, have all the materials, the information that is needed at the exam hall before you go into the exam hall.
Thank you very much, Mr. Langu. I think it's something that's really key. So it is not the place of exam or the examination room that you are supposed to ask for a calculator.
Yes.
You need your preparation items that you need to send into the exam hall, of which the things that he has mentioned, the key of them is your ID card, your calculator, your pen, your pencil, your eraser, because invigilators are not responsible for getting you those items inside the examination hall. Theirs is to supervise and help make you write your exams in peace and then exit the hall.
So the venue of the exam hall is very important. Because when you are going to write the exam, you call your friend to find out where you're writing the exam. That alone can bring a lot of anxiety. You are not able to get the exact place that you are going to write. That's where you start panicking. You start sweating. Before you go into the exams room, it's about 30 minutes or 15 minutes into the exam. So what are you going to write? Already you see that your colleague students have already gone
ahead of you.
So all these things you need to prepare before you go into the exam. So
okay, Mami. Thank you very much, Mr. Langu. Mami, let me come back to you and then let's find it. Finding your ideal location, number one, and then let's look at this carefully. Time for entry.
All right. Thank you very much. Just to add to the preparation, I believe a good night's sleep
Yeah.
is mandatory. It's not an option. You see, when you join the last minute learners association,
Sure.
then you realize that you have to stage a vigil to write an exam the next day. But if you have been pacing your learning well, which we have been emphasizing, and it cannot be overemphasized, then you can get a good night's sleep after a warm bath. And before you hit the bed, you would have prepared, as we were saying, you will have a pouch in which you have your calculator, all these things that we've mentioned, your card, all sorted, lying by your pillow. So that when a crisis of I'm late comes in, you know when you pick it up, everything is inside, your ID card and all the stationery you need. Your personal hygiene is very important. Now, you're asking, I'll come to the question. I was just adding that personal hygiene gives you a level of self-confidence when you are going to write an exam. So your dress should be ironed nicely, selected, and you know, there's a way you present yourself that exudes confidence, and you are in charge of the situation mentally and physically and behaviorally. Now there's a rule that you cannot enter into an examination room indecently dressed. I took a lady out of just entering into the exam. I realized that she would not be allowed to enter. What she was wearing,
so inappropriate.
I am telling you. So immediately I asked her, where do you stay? She said she stays at Bomsu Gate. I drove from College of Science with her, took her to the site to change, and I brought her back. Because I knew that she would miss the exam if she entered like that. So we are saying personal hygiene is very important.
Press responsibility.
Yes. And back to your question, which was, just remind me.
Yes, please. So you're finding ideal location and time for entry.
Good. So you have 30 minutes to get to the location before the exam starts. You are supposed to report at the venue 30 minutes before the commencement of the paper. Now, how do you get there? So it's part of your preparation. Before you sleep, if it's on your class WhatsApp group, or if you have to read a notice that I'm sure would have been sent prior to all these events, to just confirm the location of your exam is very crucial. And so you know, and you've written it down somewhere to remind yourself. When you wake up in the morning and you, per some circumstances, venues change. So you'd want to confirm by asking a few people, your class rep, for instance, are we maintaining where it's been assigned to us? And then you get that preparation. So locating your ideal your venue for your exam is a personal responsibility. You do not wait to say, I wasn't told, and whatever, there will be time if there will be any changes for you to be able to be sure of where you're going. So it's part of your preparation. And when you get to that place, there's a way you must conduct yourself. Most often, you would have a group of students who are already in writing, if it's not a first paper. If it's a first paper, you would be in front of the room, the venue, the classroom, the lecture room. A lot of you will be there. You will meet other colleagues. And you'll be surprised to find that if you are able to keep your cool, you sail through. But if you are a little bit jittery, which is very normal for such events, a bit nervousness, gears you up for the event at stake. Now be mindful of what you hear others say. People of your same mind state, or who are even more anxious than you, could communicate negative remarks and sentiments. And it can be very infectious.
Hey, they said this one is coming.
Exactly.
Have you learned?
I couldn't read or could you? I couldn't. Then you remember exactly what you left behind and things like that. So keep your cool.
Okay.
Try to keep positive energy around you. If you need to talk to somebody who is talking positively, who is exuding self-confidence, who have a high level of self-esteem. And as you are waiting to be checked into the room, you could go through your pockets, find out whether you have any foreign materials with you.
Very important.
Or sometimes you went to sit somewhere around the college and you were revising. Now, you might have had pieces of papers around you. Mistakenly, I know people don't intentionally want to
bring foreign materials.
Yes, but you might never know. You empty your pockets, you check your pouch. If you have a small bag that you have your stationery in. If it's not allowed, hold them in your hands and check to see that you have all your items. Your ID card must be around your neck, or as we wear them, or it's in your pocket, ready for inspection. Your footwear, everything about you must be someone who's ready for such an important assignment. It's a life decider. An exam is so, and you approach it with respect. And so when you're in that state, you go and sit down. You see that you are good to go. So looking for your ideal location is a personal responsibility. I want to add that sometimes the ideal situation is that you are self-aware. But in case you are not, there's a way you can leave yourself in the hands, in the hands of accountability people. So a colleague, even outside your course, you to prompt you.
Yeah.
Like, are you there already?
Yeah.
It's 30 minutes to time. Things like, because I've had cases where somebody just overslept and she didn't tell her roommate that she had a paper at a certain time, and they couldn't wake her up. And when she got herself awake, it was 30 minutes to the end of the paper. And of course, you will not be allowed to enter at all. So finding the location is your personal responsibility, and don't default and disappoint yourself.
Mr. Langu.
Yes, I just want to add some few things. That's on what Auntie Peasah mentioned. You see, finding your location and getting to the exams room 30 minutes before time. There's a wisdom behind that.
Yes.
She talked about your ID card. The ID card identifies who you are, whether you are the right person to write the exams or not. When you get there, that is when they check these things. So imagine you have your ID card and it's just 10 minutes to time, that just about starting, then you walk in. Will they allow you to enter? No. Then when you get there before the 30 minutes, that is where you sit down in the exams room and relax. The last time we came, Auntie Peasah talked about the brief therapy and whatnot. If you have anxiety problem, that's where you then cool down yourself, and then the sweat and other things that along with the anxiety and what, you're able to cool down. And this is where the invigilators and what, they're also able to sort out the papers, issues and whatnot before the exam start. It's not when they say start work, then where is this? Calculator. Within the 30 minutes, that is what you do. If you find the location and you go and sit down, you relax very well, then you are able to do what? To even read through sometimes they give you the question paper. That's where you read the instructions. How many minutes are you going to spend? How many questions are you going to answer? But you come late. Then 30 minutes, what they say you have to wait for 30 minutes before you start. Then you are rushing. So number one, so you read the answer, you don't get it. Number three, before you realize, the empire will jump up. Yeah. So you will know what to do. So getting to the location, getting to know the location, then getting to the exams room or hall before 30 minutes is very, very important. There's this wisdom behind that. Okay. Yeah.
Mr. Peasah, let's go into this. I'm in the exams hall. First person I see is an invigilator who is carrying an intimidating face. I've been a student before. Okay. I'll be very blunt. Yeah. Some people took care of us in the exam. And the way they are coming along, they feel as though they are telling you that this paper, you are feeling it already. They are not the ones marking the paper. Okay. But the way they are telling you by their facial expression, it's already putting you off. Students are naturally afraid already. And you have come, you've done the whole therapy session coming from the Okyere Counselling Centre. They've put it up for you. It's helped you. And then you go and meet this one person who has decided that you lie. Whatever you've learned through the KCC, I'm putting it off like lights for you. How do I deal with intimidating persons? Intimidating papers. These are the two things. Because
the persons and the
people. Yes. Because, hey, this lecture, he likes training. Hey, you've not heard about him. They say the paper is hard, though. Yes, that's his senior course mate. They've put the paper in a person that it is already intimidating. Then you go and meet a person also is kind of intimidating facing an exam. How do I go about it as a student?
I've already passed judgment.
I'm in the exam.
Yeah.
So let's talk, please.
Thank you very much. These are very familiar scenarios, you know. First of all, we want to talk about an intimidating paper.
Yeah.
I think we mentioned the other time that it's a perception. And with good preparation, you are confident and secure in who you are and how far you have prepared. And that alone gives a certain sense of assertiveness and a certain mastery over any negative sentiment and remarks that have been proclaimed about the people. So your approach to it is a choice. I'm ready, no matter how it is. I've been taught. I've done due diligence during my studies. I've been able to organize my thoughts, myself, my health, my psyche, and I'm ready for battle. I have the rules of engagement, and so I do not allow myself to be intimidated. It is a mindset you must have. It is your tools for winning the battle. And therefore, dealing with that kind of perception is a choice you make to prepare well and face it, and you overcome that. Remember, it's a perception. No lecturer would intentionally want to harm students or cause them to fail. Yeah. And so that's my take on that. The perception. Most of it is a perception. Because when we also engage the senior members, they say, why do they say things like that about us? We say, well, maybe misinformation, misinterpretation. So diffuse that kind of energy around you if that is what's said about you. So that is one. Now, an invigilator has an assignment. And there's a certain demeanor he carries. And he must make sure that he carries out his duty diligently. We do not have control over appearances in terms of facial expressions of your invigilators. We would want to appeal to them that if these are intentionally organized to put the fear of God into the students, we beg them that it affects their output. But going beyond that, a student who feels that a lecturer or an invigilator has an intimidating presence, you know, it could be words said, verbal or appearance. The take is that focus on why you are there. Practice what we call mindfulness. Mindfulness. Now, challenge your thoughts. You know, when your thoughts produce your feelings, and your feelings produce or translate themselves into your behavior or your conduct, what we refer to as the cognitive triangle. So what you think about, your thought patterns at that moment generate the corresponding emotions or feelings. So when you practice mindfulness there, and you tell yourself why you are there, and you focus on your assignment to answer questions and prove yourself, you shift your focus from a face, from a presence, from a figure onto your books or your papers in front of you. And then you bring to bear your reason for sitting behind that chair. And what you need to do, you begin doing. And when you are so engrossed with what you are doing, hardly will anyone walking up and down beside you attract or distract you. So it is people who are not so sure of why, preparation is porous and they are insecure, would be the ones who are looking at faces to see whether is someone watching me. Exactly. Whenever you are even jittery and fretting in your seat, you attract attention to yourself. Any invigilator will suspect that you are doing something wrong. Exactly. So when you are so well focused and engrossed, then you are down to business. Nothing around you can have such an impact on you for you to get yourself disoriented. So that's my take on that. Practicing mindfulness, why am I here? And then settling down to do business. You will not need the external influence that would sort of disturb your mind. You only put up your head or seek their help when you need them. There are times you may need, a question is not well cited, you want clarification, you put up your hand and they come. They are there to help you write exams well. They are there to assist you. They are not there to harm you. So let's not have a mind like that, and rather focus on why you are in the room.
Langu.
Yes.
It is the men we say that a lot about. They say this invigilator, it be hard though. It be very weak though. Starting invigilator, we are seeing it too much rough. They say you don't know who said it, and you don't know how many people encountered him. The person who made that proclamation, let's say that the person was putting up an irresponsible behavior during the exam. That caused or warranted the invigilator to go in hard on the person. You, who is writing the paper, if you put up a responsible behavior, it's going to warrant the man or the invigilator to go that way with you.
Yes.
How do I become responsible during the exam? Because it is cause and effect.
Yes.
The causes. I'm doing something. The man is just looking at everybody. Everybody is straight faced. Everybody is writing. You alone, you are just doing, I don't know what you are doing. So he now sees that, no, let me pay attention to him and see why he's acting that way. So the cause, me, the student, how do I become responsible? How do I put up a responsible behavior during the exam?
Thank you. Your responsibility starts the very time that you are aware that this week you are going to start exams.
Okay.
First of all, every exams you are about to write, it has its own rules and regulations. And normally before the exam start, they place them at advantage points where you, the student, what you're supposed to do before you come to the exam hall, what you're supposed to do during the exam hall, and what you're supposed not to do. But once you enter into the exam hall with the hope that, oh, maybe I'll get somebody to assist me. That's what this course, I didn't study very well. Then let me carry some foreign materials with myself, or I'm trying to see Kofi, where will he sit today? Yes, so that I'll sit closer to the person, and then so you are preparing your minds towards a war between you and the invigilator, because the invigilator there is to ensure sanity, is to ensure that the paper is written without any problem, such that nobody questions the integrity of what that paper. That is his duty. No invigilator will come to your exam hall and intimidate us. So that, other than that, why do they in the first place even ask you to come and invigilate? But because students sometimes they are not prepared, just like you also said, they heard about this invigilator, as for this paper, it is like this. But let's look at something. Why you enter an exam hall where you see the place is very quiet, everybody is writing nicely, quietly, busy. You don't even see any jittery, anybody looking anywhere. But those invigilators, don't we have those who are hard there? We have them. But because everybody is comporting very well, there's no work for even the invigilator. But if you don't prepare very well, just like they did, that's why I say, like, let me see whether Kwame has finished with number 2. That once you turn and the invigilator sees you, he takes notice of you. Then within 3 minutes or so, you are looking at the next person at your left-hand side there. Definitely you call for attention. That is the thing. So you, the student, need to prepare and to know that the exams I'm going to write is between I, myself, and then God. And you need to prepare very well. Other than that, you enter into the exams hall, you want to remove a foreign material or ask somebody. No, you won't have it easy with any invigilator there. Yes. So coming back to even as for this lecturer, he feels students and what. It's about the preparation, just like Auntie Peasah said. If you prepare very well, say, no, as what this paper, they've been talking about this man, I'm going to get an A. You set your target. And at the end of the day, if you work towards that, you achieve it. So you see that even those people, they claim that they had failed students, don't they students get A. They get A's. They get A's there. But why can't you also prepare very well to go and get that A? So just tagging lecturers and then invigilators and whatnot. Sometimes it's because of the behavior, atmosphere in the exams room. If everybody is trying to ask somebody or trying to remove a foreign material, you see that, in fact, the invigilators, they will come after you. Some will shout at you. Some, we are human beings. People take things differently. Something you will say, oh, as for this one, you should have done, they do this. Somebody will shout at you or say, do this. And once somebody shouts at you, it's like intimidation. If you don't take time, you can't control your emotions, your listen. Before you realize, you become confused. So it isn't about only the invigilators or the lecturers who set the question, but you, the student too, you have a role to play. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Langu, very much. So we are still continuing our discussion preparation for exam. This is one of our final episodes as KNUST kicks off its final semester exam. It's something that I said earlier, over 96 hours to go for some persons to actually sit down behind the paper and start writing. We are in the examination hall. We are talking about responsibilities inside the examination hall. And I have here today Mrs. Peasah with me, College of Science representative for the KNUST Counselling Centre, and then Mr. Langu, who is also coming for KABI KNUST Counselling Centre. So these are two representatives who are helping us do the discussion and learn what we need to learn before, during, and then after the exams. Mommy, back to you. My paper is in front of me as a student. I'm looking at my time frame for answering questions. You've seen it clearly stated over there. The exam is lasting for 2 hours, 45 minutes. I opened the paper. Most of the things in there, probably, I know some of them I don't know. So how do I structure to be able to answer the questions within the 2 hours, 45 minutes?
All right, thank you very much. So, Ejebo, Ejana Bedu, the paper is in front of you. Yeah. Now, you are responsible. You are mindful. And the paper is in front of you. Adding my voice to what it means to be responsible is to follow instructions before, during, and after. After means till your paper is collected from you. You have to be responsible for yourself and your actions. So the paper is in front of you. You first of all read instructions. And some of the instructions will be, write, if you have to write your name, write it. If you have to shade your index number, do that. Some of the instructions will be
return the question papers.
Yeah. Some will say, don't read. Don't turn the paper. Don't turn the question paper
until you are told.
Until you are told every instruction that is given you. So when the clock ticks and it says start work, now the question paper is in front of you. Read instructions. Understanding what is before you, every instruction that is on that paper, is a major component of a percentage of passing the paper. Some do not know that. They just rush at it. But understanding what is expected of you is about half of the marks, half the reason why you will pass the paper. So read instructions carefully. Look for questions that are compulsory, questions that are general questions. Are there specific issues to notice? Are there specific ways to answer certain questions? Get all those understood before you begin. Now, when you understand what is in front of you, and you know there are 5 questions, answer 3. Now, you work out the timing. You said 2 hours, 45 minutes. Let's say 2 hours. Now, if you're answering 4 questions out of 5 or out of 6, remember that each question and the marks are allotted. Check and see whether they are equal. That's one thing that guides you as to where to pay much attention or not. If they are equal, then you know that missing one or leaving one undone will affect the general marks you get. So you need to apportion your time well and be diligent to follow and the allocation discipline yourself to do that. Now read the questions carefully, as we say, read through and see if what you have been learning there's a way you feel when Wapo has told. There's a sort of exuberance, there's excitement. Now don't you? Yes, there's relief. But sometimes over excitement will make you be a little bit disoriented. So calm yourself down and arrange the questions in order of, I would say, difficulty. Yeah.
Order of difficulty.
Yeah. Sometimes you realize your best topics have come. So you choose those, you can decide to begin with those ones. And so what I'm saying is that you order the questions in according to the magnitude of demand or level of difficulty. Now, after you've put them in order, you now structure. You see, you can pause. Sometimes you see people vigorously running with their pens. But there's a way you pause and mentally picture, have a structure in your mind how you want the paper to go. You see, every good question must have 3 components: introduction, body, and conclusion. Now, your introduction, some questions may not even need that, but it's to your advantage. If it didn't require, you could give a very brief introduction to the paper where the themes of the questions are highlighted there. And then you have the body. Now, the body is going to compose the real answers. So define 4 factors of something and explain how they cause this and that. Now, put the body into paragraphs. So question 1, the first factor. The first line, we must read the factor. The first line must indicate the factor, followed by explanation and examples. That's what makes a paragraph relevant and well addressed. You don't just itemize something. So if they say list, there's a way to go about it. If they say name, there's a way. But if you are supposed to write cogently, then that is it. If it is a written work, then that's what I'm describing. It goes in paragraphs, and every paragraph has the first line must indicate the point, followed by explanation and body, an example. Then you move to the next one. Then you have a conclusion. Now, if there are MCQs, which is the general approach, because the students are many, and you can't blame the system.
A class size over 300.
Sure.
If over 300, how are you marking it per day?
It's
and
amazing.
you have first year to final year. If your course is something that almost everybody is doing, you can mark. Because you look at it carefully, you are looking at objectives of at least 40. So 4, 3, 12. That's 12,000.
It's ridiculous.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. So if it's MCQs, it has a stem, and then you have the options that are there. Read carefully and understand it. Sometimes it's fill in the blank. Sometimes it's mark the odd one out or complete a statement, whichever structure. You must read and understand it, and then try and come up with your correct answer. Some answers have some terminologies that are there. When it is never, always, I mean, it indicates an answer that you could exclude
out of the possible answers.
And read those ones, the indicators, and look for the most appropriate answer. Now, when you look for the clues in the stem, you are indicating the best possible. Sometimes there's a way to identify similar responses, and your ability to just be able to make a little differentiation, you get your answer.
Okay.
So when you get the clue, fix the answer into the stem, into where you're supposed to provide answer, and read and see whether the question, the statements makes the appropriate sense that is expected of you. If it's a calculation, do that. Now you strike out, if there are 4 options, you realize you are just left with 2 that is similar. Then you do what is necessary to get back. If you are unsure, you leave that one, you go to the next question. And you don't waste time there, because you realize that if it's 60 questions and it's 1 hour, you can't afford to miss even one out. So reading, understanding, making cogent choices are very important. Remember, all your questions carry the same, it depends on the instructions that are given. And so allocation and apportioning your time diligently to each of them is very important. And I want to end here on that one as
okay. Thank you very much, Mrs. Peasah. So, Mr. Langu, I'll be looking at one thing. I think Mami mentioned it earlier, of which I'll just come back to you. Similarities in answers. Typical example. I have 2.5 multiplied by 2.5. The calculator will give me 5.0. You look at a typical question and you see 5.0, you see 5, you see 5.1, you see 5.4. Yes. So I have gone through a little bit, so I have a fair idea of it. So similarities in answers. If you check very carefully, remarking is not something that we normally do in KNUST. So after the marks come out, you're like, oh, I was very certain that the answer was 5. It wasn't 5.0. And in mathematical terms, a point, a figure after a point is something that is very key. So when you go to the bank, they'll tell you that, oh, the amount was 50.50. So you are saying it is 50 Ghana, say it's 50 pesos. But they are saying it's 50.50 because they know why they are saying that. Because these numbers add up to come and make something significant at the end of the day. Me finding out the ideal to choose when it comes to similarities in answers, is there something that you think you can give us, let's say, a form of apport in choosing, if I can say it that way?
Okay, thank you, Echo. What I would say is that in this situation, you have to read between lines.
Okay.
Reading the question very carefully and taking note of some key words is very important. In most cases, you see, if it is the MCQs, the A, B, C, D, it's always likely that you have the opposite answers, like 0.05, 0.25, then you have different, that's one for A, then one for D, then you have C, and then that of B.
Okay.
So it's most likely that either of them will be correct.
Okay.
So you find yourself in such a situation, that is where your concentration is supposed to be. So what you do is that you cross out those that you think that are not even closer to the answer. So if there were 4 options, you allow it about 2 or 3, then you read critically, okay, but remember you are doing this within time. You look at it again, then strike one off, then the 2 left, they are now like opposite to each other. So which one will fit into the question? So you do the calculation, you get the answer.
Okay. Thank you very much. So we are still continuing our discussion, and right now we are in the examination room. What to do? We are looking at how to answer questions, your time frame for answering all your questions. This is our final episode for the podcast series for our examination period that's running in the course of the semester. Of course, next year, God willing, or next semester, God willing, we'll continue and get to know that the KNUST Counselling Centre is all about you. A center that is devoted into helping every student across every single thing that has to do with student lives. You talk about financial, they are there. Marital, if you are married, if you think that you are married, they are there to assist you. Educationally, one of the most key things that's important to them. That is why the place is not gender biased. We have females and males there ready to receive almost every single person. Whoever you think that you may be, they are very much ready and interested in your life. That as your 4 years in KNUST serves you nothing but the best. And that is what the KNUST Counselling Centre is all about. And of course, the e-learning center, a facility devoted to helping you learn electronically as well. Of course, and the mother of the university, Madam Rita Akosia-Dixon, thank you very much for such a unique opportunity to be able to do this. Not all persons will open such a door for everybody to be able to go through this whole thing. Let's move to the next things. I am done. I am getting out of the exams hall. I came. Mr. Langu, I'll come to you.
I just wanted to add something before
yes,
you
please.
go to this question. One thing that normally we realize in exams is that, let me just put this in perspective. You see, you enter into exams room, and they said that question is supposed to last for 2 hours or 1 hour. Within an hour, people are walking out. Most time, this distracts a lot of students.
And it intimidates some of us.
That is it.
Let's see the truth.
Yes.
Because
please, what do you know? Concentrate on what you know and write it. Because the person he didn't answer the question. He saw that, no, as for this question, the paper, I failed, so I'm walking out. Then you want to follow the person, then you also write anything at all, you follow the person. Both of you will fail. Yes. So they don't award marks by the time you left the exam hall. No. It's what you put on the paper that is marked. So students have to be careful about those who leave early and those who write plenty. So many things. Please be on the note. Those, whatever you've learned, put it on the paper the way you want it, the way the questions was asked. Then one thing is that, the shortest definition is the best definition. I don't know what you get.
I get what you're saying.
Yes. So you may have A, B, C, so many definitions. Please, if you cannot chew or memorize the long one, why not go in for the short one? But because you've seen that Kojo is writing plenty definition, you also no.
Calling for more papers.
Maybe he's writing child. There's nothing.
We'll call for that one because
yes.
Extra sheets and cancellation.
It becomes something like you are intimidating others. You are writing more, but do you know what the person is writing? Yes. So thank you for that.
All right, and then there's something I wanted to add to the MCQs.
Yes.
You see, there are qualifiers. When you are reading out your possibility of making the right answer, look at qualifiers. We look at absolutes. We don't have much time to go into that, but they are all clues to getting the right answers. And if the words become worse, do not leave the answer or the question unanswered. At least make an educated guess. Make an educated guess. What do they call it? Guess. Sometimes just guessing.
Attempt. Make
an attempt. You might never know. 50% of the time.
The young children, they say choose video.
Do not leave the paper blank. We had cases like that. And sometimes the lecturers are... yes, because if you made an attempt, if someone even want to consider and help, then you wrote something. Yeah. But just to leave the paper so empty, just as you met it, it's an indication of something else. There may be an underlying cause. And sometimes when you are at loss as to what you have no idea of what to do, there's nothing wrong in calling the invigilator for support.
Okay.
It is not all the time that sometimes they themselves may not even understand what the examiner meant to say. And there are times they consult the examiner to say, can you really clarify
what you have stated here?
Exactly. So what we say is that invigilators are not there for punitive measures. Just as we say, the policeman is not your enemy, it's your friend. So in times like that, please consult, but never leave your paper empty just as you left it. And the shading of index numbers, please, there's always a problem with that. Be sure, and when you are saying you are done, read over your work. Yeah. And the last thing you check, because what identifies your paper is your index number. Mm-hmm. Go over that again and make sure that you've handed yourself over well before you can say you are leaving the room. So that's what I'm adding to that of Mr. Langu.
Cancellation and extra paper collection and putting my work together.
Yes.
I'm almost through. 15 minutes to close the paper or to time. Mm-hmm. I just saw Mr. Langu's work. What is anxiety? Mr. Langu just wrote, anxiety is an expression of feeling. I didn't write expression of feeling over here. Mm-hmm. Am I right or wrong?
You cancel it.
Then I start expression of feeling. And my whole definition that carried value, I throw it away. And come and pick Mr. Langu's frontier. And I throw my whole definition away. I mean, what time am I supposed to cancel? What time do I collect extra sheet? How do I even piece my extra sheet together?
All right. So first of all, if at any point in time you perceive that you have answered the question wrongly, my suggestion for your consideration is to move away from that question and go and attempt the other one. Give it yourself a breather. If maybe it's the last question or you insist on rewriting, do not cancel it first. Take a look at the structure. I mentioned that in answering a question, sometimes behind your answering booklet, turn that page, put that structure down, a skeletal framework of what you intend to include in your answers. And you pause at the beginning, you're not rushing, you pause, you do that sketch. So you list the point, and it guides you in submitting that in the way you want to do it. And if at any point in time you feel that you have deviated, go back to that structure, reorganize it. Your first instinct should not be to cross it out. At best, if you have to rewrite the question again, leave the one there and attempt again. If you are able to do a second bit of that, and you have time to read through and realize that the first one is irrelevant or deviated as you, in your view and in your assessment and judgment, that is when maybe you put just one line. But we've always advised that leave that even uncancelled, because the examiner will know at a point what confused state you were in and choose the best option out. But sometimes what you have cancelled was the right answer, but you were nervous about it and unsure. So cancellation can be done only when you have made an input again that in your judgment supersedes the first one. In the situation where you are unsure, leave both. Now, getting more papers is a sign. Well, there are times that some questions will limit you to the number of papers you should even, the space you should use.
Hold on to that.
Okay.
For me. I'll take a breather and then we'll come back and then come and continue the discussion. And this is the final episode of our podcast series on examination for KNUST. We are taking a breather and then we'll return shortly. Thank you.
You are welcome to the KNUST E-Learning Centre, a facility set up under the Vice Chancellor of KNUST. The centre, running with the latest in technology, is built to support online teaching and learning. With the best of technical support team in the country, the facility boasts of the state-of-the-art instructional design, podcast rooms, video recording studios, Wacom studios, and a ready-to-serve call centre. Our studios come with the clearest sound, giving you the opportunity to enjoy good quality sound as you listen to your facilitator's lecture. The center can also boast of a control center that sees to the successful transitioning from one lecture to the other. Talk of the Wacom studio and you will be left stunned. A pen and a screen, that is all there is to it. You can trust us when we say we are the best when it comes to quality online education in the country. This is the KNUST E-Learning Centre, just a click. You are welcome to the KNUST E-Learning Centre, a facility set up under the Vice Chancellor of KNUST. The centre, running with the latest in technology, is built to support online teaching and learning. With the best of technical support team in the country, the facility boasts of the state-of-the-art instructional design, podcast rooms, video recording studios, Wacom studios, and a ready-to-serve call centre. Our studios come with the clearest sound, giving you the opportunity to enjoy good quality sound as you listen to your facilitator's lecture. The center can also boast of a control center that sees to the successful transitioning from one lecture to the other. Talk of the Wacom studio and you will be left stunned. A pen and a screen, that is all there is to it. You can trust us when we say we are the best when it comes to quality online education in the country. This is the KNUST E-Learning Centre, just a click.
We want to welcome you back to our podcast series that's ongoing here at the KNUST E-Learning Centre. And we have here today with us the KNUST Counselling Centre, represented by Mrs. Peasah of the College of Science KNUST Counselling Centre, and then Mr. Langu, who is also a representative from CAPI Counselling Centre. As I said earlier, if you have missed the series that we have treated earlier, it's one of the most prudent things to go back, view them, listen, and prepare yourself adequately for the exams. We've had extensive discussions in reference to what you need to do as a student to help make you sail through the exam, right from preparation till the end of the exam. So don't panic at all. Prepare yourself. Go in there. Come out with flying colors. And remember that the people put together these questions for you. They didn't put it together on paper for you to come and fail or trail it. No. The aim is that someone has actually done it, someone has actually passed it, and it is possible for you also to also pass. We are going to our examination room. We've gone through all our papers. We've put everything together. Mommy, lost item. If you remember very well, before we left we went on a breather break. We were saying that someone just rushes, finish the exam, pick a bag, and then leave. Unfortunately, we don't do tagging during an exam. So you can even not be able to identify that, oh, this person actually took my bag and then left. I'm at the extreme of the classroom or the lecture theatre. I'm at the back, so I can't see the front. The person finishes early, picks my bag, and then leave. Lost items. How do we handle it? How do I monitor my thing that I brought to exam? Unfortunately, probably when I was coming, I brought my phone. It was in my bag. I brought my laptop because I was studying with it. The notes are PDF form. I brought it to the exam center. I put it at the front. A lot of people brought their bags and then came to put it on mine. Unfortunately, someone picked mine. How do I prevent these things?
Okay, thank you very much. I wish the last ambition wasn't even the case, where you have to bring those items with you.
Don't bring it at all.
We hope you don't do that. Your laptops, because these are times, all people are not people. Though.
Yeah, and someone is failing and writing with you.
Exactly, and someone has also even targeted you, has eyes on your logistics. And so when you bring your items like that too, the security level is low. I mean, you can't determine what people, the agenda people have in terms of some of these. People come categorically to steal things, items of others. So if it's possible, desist in bringing your laptops, your phones, in the time, if 30 minutes before time, you might have a good place to go and keep your items. Hand them over to somebody, a friend of yours who you trust and know will keep it safe. Enter into an office, general office of your department or wherever. Give those items to those who can give them back to you safely. But we wish you don't even bring them around the examination area at all. But if it happens, you do. Now, when you enter, they ask that you put your bags at a certain place. We've had situations where people, as you say, they finish early and they are not tagged. Your name is not on it, like a library where they give you something to identify your bag. And so people sometimes pick at these items, unfortunately. Now, if it happens so, you need to report to the invigilators. You may have somebody in charge of the team, exams officer or someone, and make a report. Because of this, the invigilators are also very vigilant because they are aware that some of the theft cases happen during exams. So they have an eye more or less on who picks what, but they can't guarantee 100% safety.
Over 100 bags.
So if a case like that happens, you report immediately to the exams officer in charge or the chief invigilator or whoever was in charge there, and the investigation would be begin, and probably we get your item back for you. But as we are saying, the guarantee is very minimal. So don't take your precious items with you over to the exams place. And do not also plan picking anyone's item. Be each other's keeper. Sometimes let's be human enough not to inflict such psychological pain on your peers, knowing that the machine is all the person has, all everything that he's learning is on the laptop. You pick it up at that time. we just want to damage the person. So let's be human enough not to do these things.
Thank you very much. Mr. Langu,
Yes.
I'll finish my exam.
Okay.
Everything is done. I step out of the room. All of us, we are out there. Charlie, they said this one came. Oh, did you write it? Hey, yes, way by you. Hey, Charlie, meant to be on true. Postmortem. We are more than doctors when it comes to exam. Please, how do I handle that? So that I don't go to my room feeling more than frustrated.
I tell you.
Because some of us come to the exams happy, living like we are just living a funeral. Postmortem things. How do I handle it as a student?
Yes. First of all, as soon as you are done with your exams, the first thing should be like, do I have another paper to write?
That's the question you should ask yourself.
First thing. So you have another question to write the following day or 2 days time. Why should you bother yourself discussing what is gone? No, you have no business. As for whether I chose A or he chose B, you discussing that around that place will not change anything. So me normally advise that as soon as you are done with the paper, just walk home, go and relax, take some bath, refresh yourself, then you prepare for the next paper. As for discussing, as for this question, this exam, it was cheap. Maybe it was cheap, it wasn't cheap to others. But once you keep on discussing about what has passed already, it brings a lot of psychological problems. Some may get demoralized. Some even write the right answers. But because a large group of people are discussing that this was the answer, this was how I answered it, you become demoralized. Before you realize,
when we are going home.
before you realize, you can't even concentrate, you can't read the rest left. So we discourage that after the paper, just take it that, it's gone. Whatever comes is between you and then God, and then probably the examiner who is going to back it. That's the encouragement I have to encourage students to consider. As for the postmortem, you can't do anything about the paper because you will never call back the paper to say, okay, I wanted to choose A, but I rather choose B. Nothing will happen.
Just to add to that, and then you see, another thing you should do is that pray that the examiner is in. I mean, marking is also another level altogether.
It's a job.
Yes. So after the writing, as you can't change anything, rather
You pray.
Concentrate and organize your energy into prayer. God, let my examiner, my lecturer be in the best frame of mind when it comes to my paper.
God should touch his heart so that at least whatever I've written, you should be considerate with whatever I put down there. Just like she was saying alone. Sometimes you say, okay, I'm going to consider all those who maybe, if the point where you were supposed to bring some three key words, whoever brings one or two, consider the person. That's all about it. But if you want to concentrate on, maybe I wrote this or not, did I even, is it even true? You'll be thinking throughout. And that will not be helpful for you.
Because past history of failure always leads to anxiety, test anxiety. And so when you do that kind of discussion and you already judge yourself to have failed, it will show in the next paper you're going to write. It is very important to armor and protect yourself from that. Others come very loud. They themselves, they know they didn't write anything, but they just want to cause a scare by what they felt, they feel they wrote. Just to, show, meanwhile, within them,
they know that.
Exactly. Yes. There was nothing. Because of
course. Some people are there, they will always insist on what they did. Yes. No, it was A.
Yes.
It was A. Meanwhile, the answer was B. But you want to just say that so that he will encourage himself to know that, I can continue with the exam. But if you don't, yes. But let me say one thing before we leave. That is the law on the lost item. Please, you see, when they say, stop work, you see that people will be rushing to go. Sometimes, in the process of rushing, even going to pick your bag, a phone or some valuable thing can easily fall, and then you just walk.
Even pick the wrong item.
That is the thing. Yeah, generally, some people unintentional, they don't steal. But because everybody is rushing, okay, they've taken mine this year, so I've gone there, nothing is there. The only bag left there is this. Somebody can carry it. So whatever valuable you have, please, when you are done with the exams and they ask you to go out, please calm yourself, take your time, and then take stock of whatever you sent to the exam hall. Other than that, you leave somewhere and get to the house and say, I left my mobile phone, or where's my masset, where's my pencil? You won't even know where you threw those things away. So it's very important.
Mrs. Peasah, I'm going home. By the grace of God, I finished with my 8 papers, my 10 papers. The most loudest people in my class told me that I chose B, and the answers were A. I did my best. Yeah. They have intimidated me fine enough. Invigilator has added his own margarine to my bread. Now I'm going home. Getting to the house, what is my demeanor expression so that I shouldn't give to my mom, my father, my parents at home? Because I've been away for 3 months or 4 months. I've come home and I've changed. All because of my last 2 weeks or my last 3 weeks of the semester. Yeah. Because people have made me know that, Charlie, I've done the wrongest thing in the world. How do I go about that one? That's what I'm finishing with. How do I go home?
So you see, you choose to go home a distressed student or a grateful one. Now you have been here for 4 months or 3, whichever. By some divine help, you've been able to go through the semester. You put behind you what you have been able to do and have a grateful heart that you are alive. And with that, your mind is clear. You are joyous. There's an inner satisfaction that I've done what I could. That is a person who is choosing to be grateful for having survived a semester. Or you could count your losses, place self-guilt, self-blame, and try to generate a cloud of darkness over yourself and go home distressed. It's your choice. If you choose to go home distressed, when you go home, communicate your distressful state to your family. Network support can help alleviate such moods. So you go, they may notice and ask. If they do that, then you could confide in them and receive comfort and be able to break that cycle of moodiness. If they don't, choose to communicate it. This is how I feel. I feel very down because 1 or 2 things didn't go so well. And caring parents and caring family members will be there to support you. Find someone. You may not have this ideal state I'm describing, but at least you will have somebody you can offload and communicate, share. It takes away the pain. You catharsis. You're able to relax and it takes the sting out of what you, in your perception, was a misfortune. So that what I'm saying is that if you choose to go that way, then communicate it, share it, receive relief and comfort. And then you'll be able to refresh yourself, recuperate, come back refreshed to face the next semester. But if you choose the other way and say, I thank God, I made it, I'm home, relax with family, friends, family members, and enjoy life. And reorganize yourself and come back again. And we'll be here waiting for you.
Praise the Lord. Mr. Langu, final words. How do I go home?
Yes. After writing exams, in whichever way it goes, as for going home, you must go home.
Yes, it's a must. It's a must.
You can't be hanging around here. Calls will start coming. What is happening? Are you not coming home and whatnot? Just encourage yourself that I've done my best. Yes. In fact, parents, society and whatnot, they put a lot of expectation on students and normally they want you to achieve. But whatever the outcome is, at that point, that is how far you've gone. So, yeah, like Auntie Peasah said, go home, prepare, relax, tell your story. Don't keep it to yourself. If things didn't go well, maybe that's what this semester, there were a lot of challenges and whatnot because of that. I'm a little bit not very comfortable with the outcome of the exams and whatnot. You can discuss that. Some parents are very cooperative, they are welcoming. So they encourage you. Carry on. Next semester when you go, if you are not able to put A or B into place, when you go, try your best. But if you remain here, you'll be here before you realize the break is over and the students are coming. So you carry on with that into the classrooms again. You can't study. You can't study. So let that pass. Then you focus on what is coming the next day. That's all about it.
But before, some may not be able to go home.
Yeah.
If per some academic arrangements, final years may not be able to go home. Maybe a short stay. Some choose not to. But the most important is that you put that what has happened behind you. If you're unable to do that, the Counselling Centre, we are on duty 24/7. Even during vacations, we don't go on break. It's our leave time that you realize. Even with that one, we have a schedule. There's always somebody on duty to come and speak with, to get yourself encouraged and then bounce back to life.
Okay. Thank you very much. I'll take your final words.
Then we put the numbers across. As you've heard us say, they don't vacate. They are always ready to help you, assist you, to help make things happen for you, the student of KNUST, and even beyond. As I said earlier, we have mothers and fathers there at the Counselling Centre. This series has been one thing that has really been encouraging. It's really been mind-blowing, thought-provoking, and even, if I can say in a certain sense, really, really encouraging, because I wish that I had this when I was in school, but unfortunately, the best they say is always saved for the last. So if you are in school, know that this podcast series has been organized just because of you. KNUST is poised on helping you help make things happen for you, not for anyone else. So I'm going to put some numbers across. If you can hear me, you can write them down, and then you will help yourself. Each college has a representative and a team, actually. That's what I'm hearing. Yes. That it's a college that has a representative, which is a senior person, and then a team. The team has to do with persons who are also students just like you, willing to receive you, and then if the thing is beyond them in a certain sense, they are ready to channel you to the right authorities to help you. So I'm beginning from College of Science, of which we have Mrs. Peasah, who is there. We have 055 33 94 255. 055 33 94 255. I'm going to the College of Health Sciences. 024 3111 923. 024 3111 923. Remember, the ones are just 3. I'm going to College of Engineering. 050 74 96 159. 050 74 96 159. Ideal. 054 37 97 216. 054 37 97 216. Course, I have 055 95 40 176. 055 95 40 176. Canal 0244 606 579. 0244 606 579. Kabi, of which Mr. Langu is there, 024 200 5566. 024 200 5566. And to our persons all in Obuase, there's someone there ready to also serve you. 0244 75 9378. 0244 759378. Remember, these are not extension numbers. These are direct numbers that there's someone almost always ready to be able to pick up your call and assist you. For the general numbers, of which that one probably, just the statement is probably someone is out of the office, you have 050 74 97 265. 050 74 97 265. And 054 85 34 318. 054 85 34 318. Mami, your last words.
All right, so I want to congratulate all students,
Yes, please, Mami,
for making it this far.
Okay.
We are left with a few weeks to end the semester. You've been brave, you've been vigilant, you've been studious and conscientious. You have not wasted your time. You have put yourselves to the wheel and done your best. It is time to prove yourselves and to show the best side of yourself. Do not feel afraid. Do not lose your confidence. You've prepared well. So practice mindfulness. Concentrate on the task ahead of you. Add prayer. God is the ultimate knowledge giver, and the wisdom from him will help you apply what you have learned to good use. And go and make yourself proud and ours proud as well.
Thank you very much. Mr. Langu, your final words.
Yes, thank you. I'll also start from where Auntie Peasah left. First of all, they need to work on their health. When you are going to write exam, it doesn't mean this is the end of the world. If your body is communicating to you that there's something wrong with you, whether a sickness, you are hungry, or whatever it is, please work on that. Other than that, you break down before the exams end. Then I also want to encourage them. They've come far. Started the exams, the semester in early January. Some couldn't complete. Some are completing. That is a very big thing. It's an achievement. So they should have hope for themselves. Then encourage themselves that, you are in the best university and the university is here to assist you. So if there are difficulties, just like you put out our numbers, please, the counselors are there. Please don't cry in silence. Don't die in silence. Let us say what your problems, and everything will be all right. So I wish everybody well.
Thank you.
I also want to end that we have put in place extended service starting from yesterday, the whole of this April.
Today,
The Counselling Centre is offering extended service time. We usually close 5 p.m. if we don't have any cases or any emergencies, but we are staying on beyond 5 to 8 p.m. and even more. Yes. And so at the Counselling Centre, at the Directorate of Student Affairs, at the commercial area, there's always a counselor on duty throughout the exams time. Even, as I said, it began
from 3rd to 30th of April.
From 3rd to 30th of April. Yes, there's always extended for both staff and students. Everybody's welcome.
So you can see how important you are. They are doing extra time, extra hours just because of you. So don't waste your time. Don't sit down and cry in silence and die in silence. No, we want you alive, strong for next semester because it's a hurdle. So you pick up, you leave at some point, you take it and I proceed from there. My name is Okyere Smith and I want to thank Mrs. Peasah for such a very, very engaging and thought-provoking moment of this whole teaching session. It's not a podcast to me, it's a teaching session to me because I have learned a lot. Mr. Langu here, the whole KNUST Counselling Centre, thank you very much for backing us to help make things happen right from the beginning to the end. I know that by the grace of God, we are doing this with you throughout the whole period as we move forward as well. The mother of the university, Mama Rita Dixon, we prefer not to call you just prof. No. We don't want that title because a mother depicts you. We want to say thank you very much for such a chance to do this as well. Our director here, Professor, thank you very much, Prof. Thank you very much for such a, opening door for all of us as well. And to the whole KNUST E-Learning Centre, God richly bless you. Thank you very much, and we'll see you when we see you. Bye-bye.
You are welcome to the KNUST E-Learning Centre, a facility set up under the Vice Chancellor of KNUST. The centre, running with the latest in technology, is built to support online teaching and learning. With the best of technical support team in the country, the facility boasts of the state-of-the-art instructional design, podcast rooms, video recording studios, Wacom studios, and a ready-to-serve call centre. Our studios come with the clearest sound, giving you the opportunity to enjoy good quality sound as you listen to your facilitator's lecture. The center can also boast of a control center that sees to the successful transitioning from one lecture to the other. Talk of the Wacom studio and you will be left stunned. A pen and a screen, that is all there is to it. You can trust us when we say we are the best when it comes to quality online education in the country. This is the KNUST E-Learning Centre, just a click.